Welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Learn with Data. Today we will discuss about the Spark SQL. In this series, we will cover everything from the basic to advanced topic with hands-on example and the practical tips. So please watch my earlier videos related to this, and if you have learned something from my videos, so please subscribe my channel. Okay, let's jump right into today's new topic, Spark SQL. Let's learning. So Apache Spark is not just about processing raw data, it's also about handling structured data efficiently. That's where Spark SQL comes in. Spark SQL is a powerful module in Apache Spark that allow you to work with structured and the semi-structured data using SQL-like queries. In this video, we will explore what Spark SQL is, how to run SQL queries in Spark, and how to connect with Spark to any types of database. In this example, we will take Microsoft SQL Server to connect with from SQL from Spark to SQL database. Okay, so let's take one by one. So first is the what is Spark SQL? Spark SQL is a module in Apache Spark designed for working with structured data. Okay, it provides a programming interface to interact with data using SQL queries, making it easier for data analyst and engineer to work with Spark. Okay, a SQL is special. That how can Spark SQL is special? That it will be makes. Okay, so here what makes Spark SQL special? First of thing is data frame API, a distributed collection of data organized into named column. Okay, SQL support runs SQL query directly on your data. Okay, it also integration with read and write data from various source like JSON, Tharkwe, and the JDBC and also Hive database. Okay, so why use Spark SQL? Because it's also easy of use. Because if you are familiar with SQL, you will find Spark SQL intuitive. Okay, performance. Spark SQL leverage Spark in-memory processing for fast query execution. Okay, it's very fast in respective of uh, other types of the database. Okay, like the Postgres or other things. Okay, or SQL Server. Versatility. Work with it also work with the structured, semi-structured, and the unstructured data. How to run SQL queries in Spark? First of thing, we will cover how. First we need to create a data frame, and inside the data frame we will also perform the SQL query. Second, we will running SQL queries on data frame. Okay, third one, we will also use for the how to filter the data with the help of the SQL query. In the last videos we have covered everything, how to drop the duplicates, how to aggregate the data, how to rename the column also. Okay, so now how do we filter the data? Just we also remind these we remind the basic of thing into this Spark SQL. Okay, see, fourth one that is very important, how do we connect Spark to any type of the database? Here we will consider SQL Server. Okay, so let's move. For Spark SQL, we have already done the means most of the things we have already done. That how can we create the data frame and how can we transform the data with the help of the like temporary view. Okay, but let me do again for this one. Just take a Spark session, initialize the Spark session for it one. Okay, select the kernel. So here we have initialized the Spark session. Again, what we will do, we will create a data, okay, which also having the form of name, age, and the department. Okay, just execute this one. Now, what we will do, we will also create a data frame. Spark create data frame with the name, age, and the department. Okay, simple things is here. Okay, just tap this one, and we can also see with the df.show also. Okay, use this one. So it will also show the result whatever we have the data like above one, like Alice, Bob, and Catherine, and the David also. Okay, just wait for this one. Okay, so now we have got the data like Alice, Bob, Catherine, and David with the department. So now what we will do, we will also create a temporary view, okay, which will use for further for the Spark SQL. Take this one, temporary view, okay. Now what we will do, we will also whatever we are also getting the data into data frame, we are also convert into the employee temporary view, and whatever the employee data we have, we will store that data into result, okay. This one, in the last line we can also result dot show, simple. So whatever the data we have also in above one, name as department with the Alice, Bob, and that whatever data we have, that will come into the result, into the employees table. Okay, now we have got the data into the employees table. Now we can also filter the data as per age. Whoever having the age is greater than 30. Okay, so it will give the result to us Bob and David also. Just take a simple query and result also. Okay, just check. Okay, now what we can see, we are also getting the data inside this one. Okay, like the Bob we have above 30, and also David also we have the 35. Okay, so we can also this type of the query can use once you get the create a table with the help of create or replace temporary view from the data frame. Okay, you can also use for the aggregate function, you can also join function with other table or other data frame also. Okay, so this type of the activity you can handle. Now what we can do, the next action, we are going to connect the SQL server database from this Spark SQL. So what is the process for that one? First, we need to download JDBC SQL server, JDBC driver, okay, for SQL server. I will give you the description link for this one, that how can we whatever the path of this one. Okay, so this is the path. you you need to go into the zip folder. Okay, just download this one and extract this one. Once you extract, you will also get the jar files. Okay, so you need to store those jar file into bin folder inside the Hadoop, okay, folder, that one. Let me show you how can you do this one. Go to C folder. Okay, go to Hadoop home, go to bin, and go to jar folder. Okay, once you keep all jar files into this bin folder, you need to set the Spark class. Okay, for that one, what you can do, you need to go in environment variable. Okay, go to the environment variable and set the Spark class path with the same path whatever we have given, whatever we have keep the jar files. Okay, like this one, we have also the JRE11. Okay, so we keep the same thing into here. Okay, the same thing you need to define the path into Anaconda. Okay, in the if you are using the Anaconda, then you need to define the same class path is here. I will give the some hint here. Okay, we give the same class path. Once you do everything, okay, whatever you do everything, after that you need to check into your Visual Studio. First you define this one jar path. Okay, and after then you need to define the Spark context get Spark driver extra class path. Okay, once you got this one, that you it makes sure that you have defined the actual path of jar. Okay, next we what we are doing, that we need to connect the SQL server from this jar path. Okay, once you defined the class path in Anaconda prompt and also in defined system variable, so you can also check that path inside the Visual Studio. Okay, okay, let's code this one and check initialize the Spark session. execute this one. Okay, just check this Spark session into this one. So what will you receive, that you get that path whatever you have defined into the class path. Okay, so in the next thing what we will do, we will also connect the SQL server, okay, with the help of Microsoft SQL Server JDBC driver. Okay, so you will also connect with the help of JDBC driver. What will you do for this one? You will also set a credential, okay, like this one. I have also defined a simple dummy this one, like you have the user, whatever the username, this one, whatever the password, you have defined the password. Okay, first is the DB credential. Okay. Second one, you need to create a config file which also having like as a connection string, like you need to define the URL, you need to define the username, you define the password, whatever you have given the driver. Okay, and fifth one, that also you have the jar path. Okay, whatever you have, keep that those jar files into the Hadoop. Okay, once you define each and everything, you need to go into the main Visual Studio notebook file. Okay, just keep the file into this one, just initialize again. We have already initialized the Spark session, so no need to this one. Okay, so what we'll do, we need to define the from which file we have db config, which we have import database config. Okay, so it will also import the database config from this file. Okay, database config. Now initialize the Spark session, which we have defined the Spark session this one, like this one. Okay, we have the Spark session builder, app name, whatever we have the Spark Server connection, class path, database config, which just remove this one. We have the database config is here. Okay, and jar path, which we have defined inside this one. And just get or create. Just let's see. Okay, now what we will do, just read from SQL server. Now we try to connect with the SQL server. Okay, df is equal to spark dot read dot jdbc. Okay, we have already defined this tbl employee, that we can also just connect this one. URL, we have the database config URL. Okay, URL, what we have, URL this one, what we have the connection string of the database. We have defined the local host connection string database Spark database. Okay, if you need to show the database, I have just created the database here. Okay, so you can see here we have the database Spark database. Inside the database we have also a table, this one, employees table. So we are trying to fetch the data from this table. Okay, now if we have no, actually we have no data inside the employee table. Just insert the password. Okay, so Spark database, so we have no data. First we will try to fetch this table without data. Okay, so we have insert the data frame, this one. Now it is showing the properties key error. Okay, let's check what can be the error. We need to define the database is config. No need to like this one. Okay, Table employee property, this one. Okay. We have the database config user. Okay. Password, that is the password, this one. Okay. We will define this one. And the driver also. Driver. Database config driver. Okay. Just df.show. Just check. So whatever the data means, we have no data inside the table. Okay. What we will do, just insert the table data into that table. Okay. Let's try one more thing. Insert into employees. We have three columns, na? Name, age, and department. Okay. Just insert values. We have the name Rahul. Okay. Age we can take 30, and department we can take HR. So we have inserted one row, just Rahul 30 HR. Okay. Second one we can also take Alice 35 marketing. Simple. So we have inserted two rows here. Okay. Just go into the Apache Spark SQL, just check again if we have two. Okay. Now we have received the both two rows here. Okay. So you now have understood that the how can we connect to the Spark SQL. Okay. Now what we can do, we can also like above one, we can also create a temporary view. Okay. This one. What we'll do, df employee df dot create or replace temporary view employee. Okay, this one. And what are the result into this one, that we can also result also. So it is will show the result on both. Okay, that check. So here we can also both here. We can also filter into the data, simple, like this one. If we have the age is greater than 30, that is also show the only one row, Alice 35 marketing. We have explored in this video that what is the Spark SQL, how can we why use of Spark SQL, and how can we connect to Spark SQL database. After connect to the Spark SQL database, that we can also having to perform the SQL queries with the help of created data frame on that one. So here we can also perform the query with the help of create or replace temporary view. Okay. So thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you in the next video. Thank you.